I didn't want to make a second video about this, but Scouts Victoria forced this conversation. As you know, an 18-year-old Jewish teenager was punched in the face 3 times at a scout camp. Josh was targeted because he was wearing a kippah. He was targeted because he was draped in an Israeli flag. He was targeted because he said he supports Israel. Police are investigating this as a targeted anti-Semitic assault. Now listen carefully to how Scouts Victoria described this. They called it an incident, an altercation between 2 youths. They said one young person was sent home. They emphasized that the attacker is remorseful. An altercation? An altercation suggests 2 people squaring off. This was not that. This was an ambush. This was one teenager tapping another on the shoulder and punching him in the face when he turned around 3 times. That is not a disagreement. That is not teenage temper. This was violence. Remorse does not undo 3 punches to the face. An apology does not erase the fear and the trauma. And centering the attacker's regret instead of the victim's safety is a serious failure of judgment by Scouts Victoria. Where was the solidarity with Josh? Where was the clear statement that this was anti-Semitic and is unacceptable? If your highest priority is the safety of young people, then prove it. When a Jewish teenager is assaulted at your event, don't hide behind generic language about inclusion while refusing to acknowledge the community that was targeted. You cannot claim to stand against discrimination while refusing to name anti-Semitism when it happens under your watch. And not once could Scouts Victoria say the word Jewish. Not once could they say anti-Semitism. They found space for the attacker's regret, but not for the victim's identity. They found language to protect their brand, but not language to protect a Jewish teenager. And when you refuse to name anti-Semitism, you normalize it. When you dilute an assault to an incident, you soften the blow. When you describe a targeted attack as something between 2 youths, you blur the truth. Words matter, Scouts Victoria, because if this is just an altercation, then nothing needs to change. If this is just an incident, then no one is responsible. But if this was anti-Semitism, and it was, then leadership must answer for it. Sending someone home is not accountability. It is damage control. This is the moment for moral clarity. Say what happened, name the hatred, stand with the victim. Commit to real consequences, because if a Jewish teenager can be punched in the face in your camp and you still have not said the word anti-Semitism, then the problem is bigger than one punch. It is a failure of courage.